Welcome back, everybody, to Challengers North America Stage 3. My name is Marks. This is still Keg. And I assume it is, unless you've changed since we've last casted, which was a couple hours ago, but I don't know.
It's been a while, man. I don't know.
Things happen. People change.
Rankers made me a new person.
I mean, I understand completely, but we are now moving into the winners final. So one of these teams right now is actually going to qualify for that playoffs spot. Keg, what do we have in front of us?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's been a wild day so far. I think, again, it has just been nothing but a tournament of upsets. I mean, from Group A to where we're at now, we have ourselves Nightblood Gaming versus Rankers. This was the group that, again, I didn't know what to expect, and Rankers were really that wild card factor. And guess what? We got the wild card. Rankers are now possibly getting that upper bracket spot for the qualification for playoffs. And Nightblood Gaming, it was played on the secondary stream. They played a very good game. I feel, Marks, that they might fall into the same trap as Turtle Troop. I think they have a little bit more coordination. I think they've been a squad longer. But with our three maps being Bind, Sunset, and Ascent, I really don't want them to fall into the same Turtle Troop trap.
I mean, that's the thing, right? I mean, they are pretty slow. So intuitively speaking, it would be pretty easy if you think about it. It would just take a long time if, just toss a bucket down and you're probably good. But like you said, we've got Bind, Sunset, and then if we need it, then we've got Ascent. But starting things out onto Bind, this is Nightblood Gaming's pick. And even though they've picked this map, they're coming into this pretty confident, I would imagine. Like you said, the big thing about the Rankers is that they just they're extremely confident in their gunplay. The strategy is where things start to fall apart. And if you are Nightblood Gaming, that is where you need to strike.
I think one important thing about Bind is confidence. I think this can destroy attacking teams, no matter how good they looked going into this map. Depending on what Nightblood Gaming wants to bring for their stall factor, whether that be, say, a modern-day Deadlock, a Neon maybe somehow, but most importantly, I'd be looking at like a Viper or like a double controller setup to see whether or not, A, they can stop Rankers from pushing site, or B, if Rankers are going to disrespect all those smokes and utility. That's going to be the big factor to look at.
And it is going to be really interesting because, well, we're already seeing our compositions here. Nightblood Gaming, Alim just deciding to use the Neon. We've seen disgusting things with that Neon coming in. But the Rankers, once again, going for that double duelist composition. We've seen Eggster absolutely pop off on this Yoru, and they are starting us out on the defense, which is, in my opinion, the favored side when you play Bind.
Now, I'll be honest with you, going into our previous series, I didn't know the Eggster lore as much as everyone else did online. Eggster is debatably the best Yoru in North America in terms of just individual play. Like, people on different social medias were talking about his micro play really being fantastic, even as far back as like the Tarek Pro City 10-mans, right? He has been working on this guy forever. Sean for a while was also blasting through with Yoru in ranked, so you have to keep an eye on Eggster to make those moves, and he has that comfortability to pretty much beat anybody out doing it. Alum, though, is going to make that entry in. Eggster good for the trade, sure, but again, no utility left. Yoru's no different than anybody else in an instance like that, Marks. There's only 2 left alive now for Rankers.
Yeah, and oh no, the mesh comes up as well. It slows it down even more. It doesn't matter. It's going to be a little bit of a trade in the back of the site here, and Inspire not able to do it all. So Nightblood Gaming starting things out on the right foot. They get that pistol round on their attack.
Yeah, really good to see. Rankers, of course. I mean, this map doesn't have a mid. It is the polar opposite of Haven, where there's 4, 5 different lanes that you could push into to get to a site. It's going to be easier for Nightblood Gaming, I think, to combat against the collapse that Rankers might be able to employ. But we also have seen slow games from Rankers until they get their rifles. That's usually where things really start to turn on.
This next one already, Nightblood Gaming watching for that aggression, an excellent flash, and right off the bat, Fireball is able to at least grab Poppin. So all the flashes from that sky are completely taken out of the equation. But now Rankers, they get kept in check. They got to play a little bit slower. They can't just push out for free.
Yeah, this is no Turtle Troop, apparently. Though, to be fair, by Ascent, Rankers were trying to defensively push lanes very early on, especially KaneZera, and were punished heavily. Might be no coincidence that KaneZera is literally the defender in the most back, least contactable spot out of everybody else. But Nightblood Gaming, they got their opening pick, and they understand that they have to play this slow and can't squander this lead. Back to A we go.
Knights. An excellent position, spots it out, finds the headshot. Immediately just going to toss down the ruse, get the smoke online, force out a little bit more utility, make that entry more difficult. And already get spots out. Oh, a little bit of a miss on that relay bolt. Knights still able to find that headshot. Looking to potentially grab the Guardian, will do so. Not looking good. Extra in a little bit of a duel.
30 seconds left.
Gonna win that one out. That gun shoots just a little bit faster than the Classic. And Inspire in the backline with the Classic, speaking of. Is able to get one. This is slowly slipping away right now as we see another pick happen. Kess left alone, and just like that, the Rankers, they play it patiently, and it pays off. They find this anti-eco.
Absolutely great patience from Rankers. We didn't really get to see that until the very end of the last map of the series. Yeah. But even then, right? Nightblood Gaming, they took their time. I like the patience that they were employing, but the problem is, though, with a team like Rankers, where the strategy is really just to play for crossfires and as many contact plays as possible, playing slow is going to allow them to reposition on their own. We saw that especially with Inspire. He was making those calls from hookah. No contact there. Everyone was set up for this A short push. It's just a matter now of seeing again, are we going to have more capitalized flanks now that rifles have begun to be in the hands of Rankers?
Ooh, such a cheeky angle. Hawkins watching. Oh, but the smoke completely just blocks off. Just allows it to go through. Poppin at least able to get one. Says goodbye, goes through. Grab net, tossed out at an excellent time. Fireball finds a headshot onto Inspire. Midst of all of that. Allen, though, already way in on site. Exeter in perfect position, able to find one. And yeah, Nightblood Gaming, they walk into the site and just get mowed down by everything. The Rankers hold strong. Fireball now in a 1v4. Sheriff in hand, spots out KaneZera flying across the sky. Can't quite find the shot off, and just like that, the Rankers will find another.
Yeah, Nightblood Gaming are struggling to get past these initial barriers. As soon as contact is made, there's always these small contingency plans. Flash, 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 play around the smokes. Smoke yourself, smoke again. There's just so much going on, and it blinds these attackers, and they can't play off of each other. And again, you're playing on bind. It's not like you have a mid to work with either to re-rotate. That's usually why, towards the later half of attacking rounds, attacking teams begin to go for these macro-level rotates to reset their positioning of the defenders. They split this time. First time we're seeing Showers contact in quite a while.
Elam already on site, an excellent grab net, catches two. Easy spraying at that point, but Knights, oh my goodness, throw him back into aim labs. That was unbelievable accuracy. Busts out the Sheriff just to be safe, but Alan with the slide will be able to find the kill there. A little bit of info off of that Trailblazer, but it doesn't matter. We're down to this 2v3 scenario. Inspire does have this outlaw. Poppin just on the other side.
Sure.
The awareness is just on point. Poppin finds one. Looking for another, but now suddenly it's a 2v1. Kess has to do it all. Doesn't know where they are. First shot goes wide. Kess able to find one. Guiding light up into the air. Gets the blind spotted there and finds Inspire's space. And Nightblood Gaming, they're not out of this one yet.
Oh, that could have gone horribly for Nightblood. The shot Poppin got against Alum was... I mean, it looks obvious to us, right? But in a post-plan position where there's no hard info gathering for a team like Rankers, like, they could realistically be anywhere. I do want to mention, though, keep an eye on Elim for the rest of this attack. Their way of dashing in and bypassing the crosshairs of Rankers is going to be what opens up this defense to the attackers. We saw a double kill last round. That was great. And now the overdrive available from Elim to take shower control, huge to open things up. The mollies are gone.
Exeter just waiting for them to spring through. Oh, still able to escape in the middle of all of that. Alum now in the back there, looking for another. Doesn't matter. Guess is able to find the kill there. Thankfully, the overgrowth from Poppin. Make sure that the squad is nice and healthy. A 4v3 opportunity as the spike goes down.
Spike planted.
Exeter's positioning for that TP to go wide. Surely that has to be a fake. be a distraction factor against Nightblood.
Heel spotted out there. Poppin goes for the shot anyways. Operator in hand. Ruse gets utilized. Sound barrier does go off. Annihilation gets launched. Goes through. Doesn't grab anybody. Unfortunately, another Annihilation on the other side, but it doesn't matter. Alum is going ham in the back line. Fireball finds the final. Nightblood Gaming are running away with this round.
Yeah, it seems like Rankers right now, they don't know the positioning that they want to take into these retakes. They have their proper positioning for the start of the round, but these solo plays haven't been working out nearly as well as it did for them at the start of the day. KaneZera, the first to fall to the hands of Alum. 7-4. The majority of those kills have been in the last 2 rounds. This Neon, again, has been able to bypass Knights and KaneZera, slows down the rest of the team for these retakes. I love the communication that Nightblood are bringing to the table. They have worked together for so long now. They've been a well-oiled machine.
And it's just good alt cycling. I was just about to say that.
Yeah, we're on the same wavelength. We finish each other's
sentences.
No, alt cycling.
Oh, yeah, alt cycling. My bad. Don't worry. I'll read the emails next time. I won't just skim them. I'll know what to say.
I take a lot of time for these memos, Marks.
And I appreciate every minute that you spend.
Yeah, but you're about to do your own ult, aren't you?
Maybe.
Oh? You got your 7 out of 8 ult points. But you know what? Inspire's the only one on Rankers without an ult. This is going to be a mess. And you can tell Nightblood are like, come on, man. Bring him out. You got to finish the job, Marks.
If you are Rankers at this point, I do want to see you start to use some of these guys. If anything, just KaneZera to get a little bit more aggressive. The Bucky playing extremely close range, but this is the thing. Nightblood have been really good about scouting things out. Maybe not this time around. Oh no, KaneZera still doesn't find the kill. And the Overgrowth will make sure that it's not fully taken advantage of. Oh, I'm not quite done yet. Shotguns galore going in there. Extra able to find that finish. Trying to use that. Okay, it's going to be going back and forth. Knights not dead yet. Stuck, though, in the middle of all of that barriers. And Inspire just on and off angle is able to find 2. Poppin goes through the TP. Sogo aware, but it doesn't matter. Rankers, they just kind of come from all over the place and catch Nightblood Gaming off guard in order to secure the round win.
Great preparation. The most important kill of the round had to have been Eggster getting the judge inside of Lamps. The fact that Alum was not able to make that entry potential, couldn't gain distance and grab lamp control, means that Nightblood Gaming couldn't comfortably get on site. They had a panic plan. And I think the response to that now is going to be this tack. Nightblood Gaming, they had to think of a way now. They drove out some ultimates from Rankers, sure. But now that A has seemingly been adapted against, they might have to start figuring out a way to play this early round more effectively. Especially if Rankers choose not to play as aggressive as they once have. That's not going to be an easy victory to go into a 5v4 on site.
Speaking of ultimates that are potentially coming online, Yun just needs one more to get that orbital strike. We're getting pretty close to having the Viper's Pit online as well. So Nightblood Gaming, if they do scoop up a couple of these orbs, could run counter to some of the stuff that the Rankers might be trying to pull out. KaneZera still with the showstopper in pocket. Might use that to be a little bit explosive. And I wonder if Nightblood Gaming are going to try and anticipate this, play back a little bit, wait for them to push out. And I wonder if this is going to be the round that the Rankers do take that bait.
It would be a big one. Quinn has a special place in my heart. I think he was one of the first pro players I've ever casted in this game. Way back in the Gen G days. Holy, wow. That was approximately 1 million years ago.
In esports time.
Sure, we can go with that. Makes me feel better.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, Trailblazer gets utilized. Poppin gonna use a counter Trailblazer, but GravNet is still good. And you know what? I'm gonna be honest, Alum has been extremely good at following up these GravNets. Pretty much always guaranteeing 1 or 2 kills.
Yeah, just the overall micro that we see from Nightblood has been so on point. Other teams that have looked good doing so far this tournament, Winthrop, YFP, Nightblood, if they can continue this and not fall to the hands of Rankers, they're going to look good for playoffs. They just cannot lose the confidence, and more importantly, they can't let Rankers get confidence in these plays. They're going to start going for brazen swings and make it work. Double flash set up outside garden. Orb has been picked up. One off Seekers now. Shower control gained by Sogo. Knights has been a scary force individually.
Teleporter does get taken. Snake Bite thrown into the back line. This should spell engagement. Oh,
30 seconds
just
left.
A little bit of missed pixels. Knight's still alive in the back of that as Sogo goes hopping in. Not really expecting that player to be there, and Knight still is getting kills. Okay, make it 3. Sure, a lot easier at this point. Fireball is in the back line, but it doesn't matter. Rankers, specifically Knights, just holds down that A site. Nightblood Gaming, they get a plant, but nothing more.
Makes me worry for Nightblood. They took that early in mid-round too slow. They were forced out at the choke, and they had good trades early on, but then when they were rotated to A site, they were too slow for the take. Remember, right on the execute mark, it was just Knights on site, but the call was made at the proper time for everyone on the defense to rotate over for a quick reflood and retake, as Nightblood Gaming were just barely in their positions for the post plant. That timing is everything, and I'll be honest, dude, I don't know how they do it, man. They just have this miracle sense of timing. It's like built into their bones.
And somehow, too, they're always able to just win out multi-battles. I mean, they're alone, and then they go in, and somehow are still able to win. This time, Poppin sees them hop over there, gets the information, so at this point, the Rankers should be aware of what is going on. Extra throws down the decoy. Nightblood Gaming, they slow things down just a second. Trailblazer will go in there, and yeah, Alum not able to find too much. Sogo goes to the swing around, but Knights is being a menace on the site yet again. Extra in tow as well. As Nightblood Gaming, they don't have a lot of weaponry here, so it's trying to make do with what they've got. Poppin finds the last one, and Sogo and Hyun will be the last 2 remaining members, just trying to find something here. The Stinger is really good at close range, but Hyun, last person alive, and Knights finds that kill. And just like that, Rankers, they snatch back the round.
Yeah, they're really playing against the double smokes that Nightblood are bringing out for A site. When proper smoke set up to divide out A site from the front and back. Alum had lamps control, but unfortunately it was lost and there was no capitalization of the trades, mostly because of the brimstone smokes. Rankers were hiding inside of it, spraying through the smokes. And as soon as those had ended, we saw more smokes of their own come through. Sogo's wall was in the way. A flash through the wall, a double swing, more bodies taken down from Nightblood Gaming. Comm's got to stay clear here.
What a toss. The lineups are something else. Fortunately, we do actually get to see that they are able to get to safety, so I'm not going to be able to do that for sure. Okay, Kainzera uses the ultimate. Unfortunately, doesn't find much. Poppin at least able to trade off of that one. But still, you would have liked to see a little bit more from that showstopper, which just got invested and found nothing.
Big timing, though. Despite being 4-4, timing's already been made to have attackers on A side. Look how far deep in that spike is. Knights is none the wiser. People have rotated in. That's a gigantic opener.
Uh-oh. Might have overextended just a bit. Inspire finds Sogo. Now the spike is actually going to get rushed over to that B side. There's nobody there. And so they should be able to get it down relatively easily. It is going to be this 3v3 opportunity. Kess walking through the fire to get a cheeky little reposition on this other side. I don't think that the Rankers are very aware of what's going on. The Annihilation gets popped. Kess has the opportunity to end it all. Orbital Strike is going to be online, and Kess finally strikes Poppin on the relocation, finally makes it in time. Only has this operator in hand, a 1v3 scenario at this point. I think you just look to save this one, gets bitten up by the Trailblazer as well. So Poppin will be saying goodbye, taking that op and saving it to the next round.
These are the rotate timings I wanted this scene, man. You have a distraction factor on B site, enough to keep Rankers at bay and focused on that initial pick. And everybody else is silently crawling up A site. Knights was rotating right at the perfect time to not spot anybody until it was too late. And then at the last second, a call made to rotate Spike from A site to B. It was risky, but luckily Huynh had Orbital Strike in hand, a Molly there to divide out anyone rotating from A site. But most importantly, it's the respect Kess gave to that Molly that Huynh threw out. You don't take nearly as much team damage from mollies as you would your enemy team. So you can skirt by corners like that, and it happens so rarely in officials that enemy teams just don't consciously think about that there could be somebody in that position.
All right, at this point, they gotta expect this sort of lineup. Poppin does have this operator here, and GrabNet should take purchase, as the overdrive does get activated as well. Electricity is zapping through the smoke. Not really finding anything as the guiding light gets utilized. Alum now is stuck in the GrabNet. Will simply free there, and yeah, okay. Oh, that was just a lineup at that point. Excellent headshots as well coming in from the overdrive. Now the entry is completely underway. Alum finds 3. Looking for just a little bit more. Will rescue a rifle. But Rankers not really having an opportunity to do anything here. This Neon just kind of flew in and burned everyone down.
Full utility off of KaneZera. Finally now the Boombot and Molly used. Knights does have not dead yet. Could be expended.
No way. Knights spots
Barrel.
out the gun barrel. Knows where at least one of them is looking. Understands there might be a crossfire being set up. But a deep flank as well is currently underway. Ooh. Taking a bit of damage there. Fireball finds the first. KaneZera just simply unaware, but it doesn't matter. At this point, Kess coming in and finds that kill. Nightblood Gaming, they tie it up 5-5.
I thought that was a good attempt to at least try to open up B-side, but unfortunately, had Knights found maybe a pick getting in, brought things to a 2v4, maybe then we would have seen KaneZera dedicate more to actually pushing in and use Knights' ult. Unfortunately, that just was not the reality that we were in. But this has been an even game so far, and I feel this is probably the first time, I would even say if we include open qualifiers, that Rankers feel truly contested.
Scout destroyed.
Yeah, I mean, they were 2-0ing all of their maps and matches in that open qualifiers, so this is probably the most that they've been pushed here.
Yeah, I'm looking at the stats right now. If we include open qualifiers, this Rankers squad, as in this specific team, have not lost a map yet.
Which is wild. This could be the first. The slide in goes a little bit chaotically. Alum falls in the middle of that as Hookah continues to be just watched. KaneZera on the inside, 27 HP. Nowhere near enough to get that over health. Egster up top, Bucky in hand, able to at least find one. The spray is going to happen now. The decoy works perfectly. Rifle is rescued. Kess, last person alive. Staying out on the bottom here as Egster takes first contact. That's a little bit dangerous as it was just the lineup there, but KaneZera able to come out from that teleporter and finds that final kill. Rankers hit 6.
I mean, regardless of how this final round goes, this has been a very healthy half of Nightblood Gaming. They'll be able to control the map a little bit more on their defense, push back against Rankers. But we've seen how Rankers plays before. They have so many different agents that can play together, but they don't need to. A lot of lurking, a lot of timings that could work in their benefit, a lot of solo plays, Knights especially, Egster, we've highlighted them. Inspire had that 1v3 to win out against Turtle Troop earlier today. They're all very capable.
Go, go, go.
Already an aggressive initial drift, and Knights is able to find one. Not dead yet, popped. A little bit of an awkward angle for Egster to try and make anything happen. KaneZera still stuck on top of the truck as the Seekers get popped as well to give that information. KaneZera knows where it is able to at least find one, and yeah, now Kess is just alone, but Kess has done it all before. Down to a 1v1 up against Poppin. Sky v Sky. And Kess comes out on top. Nightblood Gaming, they tie it up in this half, 6-6. What a showing.
I mean, hey, look, Alum's been very flashy with his kills and had a lot of impact. But Kess, especially now taking over as kill leader, has been making some of the best decisions in the entire server. We talked about him bypassing Quinn's Molly to find the reposition to help win a round, right? Him taking these micro positions and 1v1s. He has been winning every single clutch he's been put in. 15-6. There's nobody else in the server like him right now.
I know, and it's talked about how much of an impact Egster had in this previous matches and all of this history, but quite frankly, right now, I think Nightblood Gaming have been doing a good job at keeping Egster in tow.
They have been. But now that you're on the attack, I think the Yoru can really shine. Defensively, he is limited. An opening flash. Oh, Alum. Never mind. Maybe not. Unbelievable aim.
Yeah, you hate to stand corrected on that one, especially too in such a decisive manner, but Ranker's not out of this one just quite yet. Alum is pretty low at the very least. We do see that there are 3 members of Ranker still alive. Never mind, make it 2. Now Knights, as well as Kainzera. They have to do it all. An excellent crossfire angle being set up. Kainzera going to take first contact, finds the first kill, understands where the next one is, but okay, Knights has their back. Suddenly, down to a winnable scenario, but not going to be the case. Kess with the frenzy. Sprays it down. Nightblood Gaming, they take the pistol.
Alum and Kess have been a stone wall for Rankers. They have been unable to bypass. A lot of this opening utility that we saw from Rankers have been very big tells about what the swing and executes will look like. The Sky Flash that we'd seen from Poppin start of last round allowed Alum to block out the flash, take the wide swing with the Sheriff, remove Eggster and Poppin. Both the flashers, by the way, at the start of the round. And that made Ranker's journey so much more difficult to push in.
Okay, Kess just is able to get that ultimate orb, pretty much uncontested. Knights, though, still going for it. Almost finds the headshot, actually. Guiding Light will get utilized to just flush off that angle, but they're not done yet. The Rankers, Kainzera as well as Knights, might be swinging yet again. Who's going to take first contact is the next question. As Hyun on the back line as well. Knights, an excellent headshot. Hyun trades that back immediately. Don't forget, Kainzera just on the other side takes a little bit of damage. Meanwhile, on the other side, bit more of a stalemate. Asogo is going to be moving up, spots out Inspire, but is going to back out.
Yeah, good call here from Rankers. They made their presence known already. Kainzera contested. Okay. That's going to be the Raze gone. There's no Neon. The Kainzera Raze pick had to have been the one to create that space. It's going to be a tactical operation from here now, Mark.
Ooh, information immediately given away. Asogo's so aware. The rotate just around, and it's perfect. Poppin not even expecting that. Inspire looking for something, but the firing squad is here. Nightblood Gaming, they find that second.
This is going to be a tough challenge for Rankers. They can't win off of just raw mechanical anymore. They were able to do it all the way up until now. Not a single map lost. Nightblood Gaming are getting closer and closer to bringing things to map 2 in their favor. Now, remember, this is Nightblood's map pick. They know for a fact that mechanical unbind can be very tough. This map is almost entirely based on macro calls.
Throwing net.
And well, actually, Inspire has a very similar grab net line. Not going to catch anybody behind, potentially. Relay Bolt does go out.
Time to jump.
Gate Crash gets utilized. Kess on the other side is able to find 1 kill. Alum, though, still holding it down. Poppin finally trading back. Poppin up top there, but the flash, it's just bad timing. Both members are flashed and being able to find that final bullet. The mesh comes up as well. Trailblazer not going to be able to see anything. So, Exer and Inspire up against 4 in Nightblood Gaming. The spike not in any of their hands, but should be easily rescuable. However, Nightblood Gaming, they're expecting them to push up just a little bit more. Holding this dangerous cross there. Exter dancing with destiny.
I have the spike.
Pokes out for a second. Realizes how dangerous it is. Okay, double dips. Finds a headshot onto Kess. That is just raw mechanics right there, ladies and gentlemen. And now the spike does go down. Exter still holding things very forwards here. Has to watch out though. Gravnet in the hands of Fireball. Gets tossed out here. Planning on swinging off of that. Looking the wrong way. Exter at least able to find 1. Inspire. Last person alive, but Hyun just a little bit more aware. Nightblood Gaming will be able to get this defuse. They're starting to run away with it on this defense.
And all it really takes is to hold these basic positions. Rankers aren't working the map nearly as much as they could be. With the composition that they have, I really want to see either Eggster or if you want to be really spicy, maybe even Inspire, go for a deep lurk on the opposite side. It's something that Nightblood Gaming were doing so well at, doing well on before they would go for their major rotates. But Rankers are just stacking up.
Caution here.
And sending in waves past the Viper wall and the Deadlock util. That was the big question I had. Can they respect these smokes? Will they be able to get past them even if they don't? Alum now with the overdrive available. Past this smoke will be a flash and then the overdrive fiesta. Decoy. Or maybe not. This decoy could slow it down.
doesn't matter. KaneZera on site already. Knights playing Vanguard, able to find one. KaneZera with the judge in hand. Swaps to the classic at the wrong time, but it's okay. The rankers have completely breached the site. They've walled off the back as well. Make this a little bit more difficult as Sogo's just watching alongside Fireball Ops, but plenty of time for the rankers to be able to set up their post plant. Kind of like goes in here. Oh, excellent little flick. Hold on a second. This is suddenly winnable. A 1v2 scenario. Fireball Ops just has to get through it. A little bit difficult. 11 HP, not looking winnable anymore. And that's going to be the rankers. They pull a round back in their favor on this attack.
Great split push. Help too that the Deadlock anti-raise utility was placed on A site. Nightblood Gaming's idea was going to be that rankers would execute A, but they didn't. And this is something common we've seen from rankers today. A lot of defensive teams will psych themselves out, assuming that rankers will switch sites on their attack once they feel like they could be adapted against. That is not rankers' play style. They take a page quite literally out of the ranked playbook and hit the same site over and over and over again.
Listening.
And they make it work.
Who's next? Okay. Metro Drift is going to be online. Exeter just scouting things out right now, paving the way for the rest of the team. Yeah, Alum has to back up and respect it. I know what's going on here. Exeter on site already, judge in hand. Is able to at least find one. Looks for the next, but Inspire has their back, and the rankers are just overwhelmed. I think they found the site that they like to hit, and it is called B. They now flood onto the site, will get that spike down. A 2v5 scenario, Kess only with a judge in hand. So goes so far away. The ranker should be able to win this one out. Oh, nice. Little bit dangerous here, especially against the judge. It goes down one. Kess still alive in the midst of all of that. Knights is going to pop the ult, but unfortunately that might not have been the right call, because Sogo, so far away, is just going to save this rifle.
Yeah, and rankers have no idea where Sogo is. But luckily, though, Knights, they brought out the ult just in case. Didn't expend much. But they did find value of re-clearing out the majority of the defensive spawn. And Sogo's going to have to save this rifle here. Nightblood Gaming, they had a good run for their defense thus far, but I think at this point, before things go from bad to worse, they may have to think of a timeout here. Really go over what's going to work and what won't work.
Yeah, timeout might not be a terrible idea. Especially, too, with a scoreline as close as it's getting. But, you know, moving into this next one, the Nightblood Ultimate Economy is looking pretty darn good. Especially, too, with Alum, with the Overdrive online. We've seen just disgusting stuff come out of that Neon. And I wouldn't be surprised if that is the play here, especially given the economic situation.
It's going to be tough, though, because rankers obviously know that the Overdrive is an available option. So they may just hold back and wait at the start of the round for this Neon to overextend. Does that mean Alum's going to wait to use Overdrive once the execute's done? Or ongoing? And that really just depends on where rankers wants to go. I think the onus here is going to be on the attackers. Are they going to keep going B? Or are Nightblood Gaming going to fall for the same trick where they think it's going to be A this time? And that just ends up being a B hit again.
Oh man, I hope that's not the case, but it totally could happen that way. I think right now, if you are Nightblood Gaming too, you're trying to get an idea on how to set up this defense. If they win this round, that would be huge, especially too because it is not going to be a full buy. They're going to be seeing Fireball Ops. Not able to buy up, only get that Sheriff online while you're going to be going in with the Judge. A lot of shotguns, actually, I'm seeing today, Keg. Didn't really expect that one, but these shotguns from Nightblood have been looking pretty good.
I mean, hiding inside the smokes in such a condensed map like this works out so well. And with how contact-heavy rankers have been, you really don't have to worry about distance too much. Good call from rankers, though. Holding external lanes, expecting some sort of aggressive presence. The buys on Nightblood are all over the place. Alum does not have a rifle or any gun except the classic. That Overdrive is going to be that proccing factor. Down. It's a float too. Nightblood want to retake B side with Neon ult, and they're gamble stacking A to hope to catch rankers off guard.
I've got your
rankers too, starting to move their way out. Poppin now going to be using the ultimate. The Seeker should give better information as to what's going on. Oh, look at that! Sogo able to find 2, make it 3. The Rankers walk in and absolutely get demolished. Nightblood Gaming, Sogo, the overwatcher of that A site, and now goes in with the overdrive online, but it is going to be Hyun just flying around with the judge in hand. And it works out perfectly. The gamble makes sure that Nightblood Gaming gets a 10.
That was such a great call from Nightblood. The gamble stack A, playing together and not separating their forces. I want to see a round now where potentially the Nightblood Gaming just keep gamble stacking a site and pray that they can just keep retaking the opposite one in post plans. They have the ult cycling to do it. Let's say you give up A or B. You have Kess's ult for information in return. And that would be the case had it not been now for Sogo's ult to shut down A site. And that means that priority will just have to be inside of Showers to keep control of that.
Viper's Pit, right off the bat used there. Grabnet gonna get tossed out here. It actually works out perfectly, but the Annihilation used in response, and unfortunately, it doesn't work out for the Rankers. Nightblood Gaming just feeling absolutely on top of the world right now. The Annihilation doesn't even get the value that they were hoping for. Eggster trying to scrape this one back together for the Rankers. Nightblood Gaming, yeah, they're gonna be just fine. Spike is down. Knights in a 1v4. I wouldn't count Knights out yet, but this is still a tall order to ask for. Only a Bulldog in hand. Trailblazer gets used. Yeah, this is looking like Nightblood Gaming should be able to close the door on this round.
Nightblood Gaming may be able to make history. If they could be the first team to defeat Rankers since the beginning of... Yeah, in a map. Not a series yet, but in a map. Since Open Quals. And all these Ranker players, right, they have been, you'll never believe this, ranked demons. Kane Zera was #1 NA for a while over the summer. Him and Knights have been a trio alongside Ion, who unfortunately is not in Challengers. A little too young for it. But they have just been ransacking their leaderboards. And it's tough to beat. Their mechanical has been otherworldly. And now you bring on Eggster, who has been the Yoru player in so many different kind of pro 10-man servers, right? Just developing that style. And Inspire has definitely a history in of himself. But him, I believe coming in for the calling, has been able to kind of take this ragtag band of ranked players together as a very formidable squad. Has been scary to look at. But now that they're truly challenged here, I'm curious to see what the response will be. And having Eggster be alone on the lurk, I think is a really good call. This could be a late round TP, depending on the distance Eggster makes into this round.
Bit of space being taken right now by the Rankers. Not a good buy coming in from them. Nightblood Gaming, plenty of rifles in hand. Information is given. Pop able to at least shoot up that sound sensor. Look at this. Oh, they're going hunting. Alum wants the next one, goes through the slide, has to calm it down just a second, but still secures the kill onto Kane Zera. Poppin has to back off. There's no option here. Eggster still trying to take that space, but Sogo has been so good up in A heaven. And now just a 2v5 split up onto different sites. The teleporter should be taken, I would assume, unless Inspire is just planning on going on some sort of dirty flank, but there's so many players just watching both of these sites like hawks. This goes from such a difficult position to an almost impossible one. Alum just steps out on the side, and yeah, the firing range is going to be there. Poppin now in a 1v5. Doesn't have a stinger in hand. I've seen disgusting things happen with that stinger, but this is looking very unlikely, Keg.
I mean, with the calls of Nightblood being as fantastic as they are, a triple swing to remove Inspire, and Poppin now, the last one left, there isn't much he can do. Nightblood Gaming is looking incredible. They may be one of the best micro teams we've seen this entire tournament.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying Nightblood's style, and on top of that too, I want to give a shout out to Sogo. Sogo has been doing a fantastic job of anchoring that A site.
Absolutely. And the fact that too, again, that goes back to the calls, right? Sogo can solo A site, listen to his team about when to wall properly, and hold down the fort from across the map. It might seem like such an innocuous thing, but stuff like that adds up to slow down a team that has done nothing but run it down, W key into sites, taking advantage of teams whose comms have been far less.
Yeah, we mentioned it in the last series as well, but the Rankers comms, it's the ranked experience. Let's just call it that. Whereas Nightblood Gaming, like we've talked about, they've got a lot of experience playing together. It's a a lot of that teamwork definitely in place. This time, though, the Ranker's taking a lot of room onto the site. It's going to be an early trade going in. Alum is going to be down. Extra still alive in the midst of all of that. Metal gets tossed out as Fireball Ops able to find one. Oh, the Annihilation gets Poppin, not able to execute as Poppin is just going to clean up the showers area. And now Kess coming in onto the flank. Sogo still watching from heaven. Sogo, the last person alive. Rankers say we want one more round and hope to once again try and take us all of the way. But Nightblood Gaming, if Sogo is able to pull off this miracle 1v3, this could be huge at this point. I think you just look to deny the weaponry for the Rankers. Aware that they are on the site, heard the footsteps at that point, but the three members of the Rankers now are starting to slip through. Shows face just for a second. Just trying to watch for a lot of these exits. Might be looking the wrong way as Exeter goes through the swing just around the corner. The Rankers get themselves to 9.
3-round difference. Although Nightblood are 1 round away from bringing us to map number 2, Rankers can easily bring this back. They have Eggster's Dimensional Drift, Poppin's info gathering off the Seekers. That alone can convert around. And a big rush off the Yoru ult to clear out Hookah and fast push into B would mean a lot of backside control for Nightblood that they rely on to hold the site will be lost immediately.
I'll handle this.
Oh, you can go right through that in Dimensional Drift. Did not know that. That's a fun fact. A lot of information being gathered. The classic Eggster ult into the back there, toss out a couple of flashes, make yourself known onto the site, but it's okay because the Rankers have completely taken control. Kane's Arrow exploring into the back line here, but not able to secure the kill. Hyun still alive. Guiding Light goes up top. Oh, and immediately Knights is ready for that swing. The overheal just a little bit faster. A friendly flash is going to make that a little bit more difficult to go through. Upshot just goes a little wide thanks to that speed. Nightblood Gaming, another opportunity to close this down. A 4v4, grab net in hand, gets tossed out in onto the site. As Alum now flying into the backline. The relay bolts get utilized here. Someone's going to be out. Rankers are still alive in the midst of all of that, but Inspire's still alive. Inspire hosing them down. Rankers got to double digits. This is now 10-12.
Oh, again, just great control of the backside. Nightblood Gaming never had the proper footwork to get back into the site once that spike was down. It was a little scary for a moment when we did see the defense reclaim elbow, but Rankers, they're good at trading each other out. Kane's Arrow had fallen. Immediately, other members swooped back in. And that's the strength of Rankers. Just their raw mechanical in their positioning to catch anybody off guard. I like the proactivity from Nightblood this time. They don't want to gain any distance up against from these attackers. They're just going to take the fight to them. That's so risky.
Okay, all right, the Annihilation online. Alum now has the overdrive as well. Not necessarily able to get Kess out of the cocoon. Will do just that, but it's okay. Poppin ready for it. And in the midst of all that, suddenly we're down to a 2v2. Popping things off right off the bat.
Last player
now,
standing.
Alum gets completely caught off guard by Poppin, leaving Sogo alone in this scenario. The teleporter gets taken. Just on the other side, Inspire is there. Sogo has to find this timing. Swing comes out, but Inspire finds a kill. Rankers now 1 round away from forcing overtime.
No shot. We saw distraction shots from Poppin to allow Inspire to swing and not have the crosser on him. That's ridiculous. Unbelievable. And Nightblood Gaming, they had the right idea. Is it risky? Yes. But taking the fight directly to Rankers at the start of the round, surprising them with a lot of these opening fights, Inspire's Annihilation did a lot of the legwork that round to drive Elim to push a lot deeper in than maybe they would have wanted. That was all Inspire. But now 1 round away from potentially map 2 or going to overtime. Nightblood Gaming are feeling the heat. Crossfire available. Cass does have a judge. It's a double judge, actually.
Oh, I want this to work, but unfortunately the Rankers are completely just moving around. Exter is going to get pinged up a little bit. At this point, the spike is just going to go easy down onto the side as Kane's Arrow goes into Hookah. Spire's still on the back line, and yeah, this is looking like it's going to be a Rankers round. As soon as we saw Nightblood start to split themselves out, this is where Rankers start to thrive. A lot of those traps just not really found this time around. As a result, things are going to be tough for Nightblood to pull themselves back in.
Yeah, I'm really hoping into overtime. We start to see Nightblood Gaming gamble stack their defense rounds yet again. Kane's era out from blood, can't get past the wall. Fireball falls, Elim the last one left now. And it's far too late. We go to OT.
Yeah, at this point you're just playing for kills, but Knights still sharp with it. We'll find that kill. And yeah, just like that, we are now in overtime. Oh man, 6-6 on both of these halves for both of these teams on both of these positions. Honestly, at this point, it could be anybody's map.
And you know what the wildest part is? These are two very different play styles clashing at each other. You know, remember way back in like Gauntlet days where it would be like Ascent, OT? It's kind of like that, where you'd have two different teams with very different play styles too. One team would be very aggressive, but not too great on their defense. Another team would be so good defending and shut down and not find any distance as an attack. It's just like ye olden days. But Rankers now, I fear that their strat ceiling might be a little bit less deep than Nightblood's. It comes down to their frag ability. They have to win this opening pick.
Cutting through.
Not going to be tossed out immediately. Causes a little bit of difficulties, but not too bad, all things considered. Kane Zera, though, tosses out the paint shell. Oh, just misses a little bit of a timing. Kane Zera now going exploring. You're so aware. Uh-oh, not looking good for the Rankers. They've already lost 2. Knights just goes around the side there. Knights always going to be good for that. At least good for 1. Goes in again, but okay. Hyun is feeling it. Nice and warmed up. As now it is going to be this 4v2 scenario. Nightblood Gaming looking to get their attack win.
And retaking B site with only 2 flashes and a decoy is far easier said than done. Popping already, taking a safe position from elbow. Looking for an opportunity to potentially get at least 1 off the anti-entry. Decoy's been expelled by Eggster. Only now info gain, Poppin calling for the rotate. That decoy's going to confirm everyone's on B main.
Oh. Okay. Now they know exactly what's happening. Poppin's still alive. Reportedly. Not afraid to walk through things as Alum is able to find Eggster. And yeah, Poppin just dancing around these bullets in an impossible scenario. 1v4. Doesn't even get an opportunity. Kess with the Odin sprays him down. Nightblood Gaming looking to close out map number 1 potentially on this round.
I mean, that's a big ask still, though. Nightblood Gaming, they looked so good in the first half of their defense and then fell apart. Yeah, I'd go for a timeout, too. I mean, surely, right? Like, what made Nightblood's defense work really well in that first half was the fact that they were willing to gamble stack a site, knowing full well they might have to retake the opposite one.
Yeah, I mean, it is one of those things where, you know, you want to be able to move in there, and it worked out perfectly. What I worry about, though, is they tried to do that again, but completely missed the mark, because I think that the Rankers have been doing a pretty good job at setting themselves up post-plant. Making sure that they spread out properly, making sure that they're all over the place, and really just dismantling Nightblood Gaming before they even make it onto the site. I think that when the Rankers had the opportunity to set themselves up properly, they did look really strong.
I agree with you when it was a gamble stack on A site, but really what caused a lot of that was the fact that Eggster had his ult and was able to go all the way practically in the defender spawn to ensure that Nightblood wouldn't have that space for a quick post plant, right? Oh, this is interesting. So we're going to say, you know what? You're not taking B side at all. We're going to flow A, play a pseudo retake on that. Rankers in response are defaulting at the start of the round to see what exactly Nightblood Gaming have cooked up. They're expecting aggression here.
Oh boy. And meanwhile, the Rankers.
That's big.
Low and steady. Oh, Kane Zera. Very close. Okay, gets stuck. Not too sure what's happening at this point, but Elim is able to take quite a bit of space.
Oh, the marks. Early deadlock wall defensively has just dropped from Showers, and there's not much info gathering besides that sensor to look back at it.
Oh. Blood coming on the way. A grab next thrown preemptively. Uh-oh. You flash it twice. And now you can't even see a thing. Fireball Ops isn't sure what's happening. Spots Extra, but it's a little bit too late. Cainzera able to find 2 this time around thanks to the paint shells. Now this retake looking a little bit more dicey from Nightblood Gaming. Look at this. The Rankers are already going hunting. So aware of where this might be happening. Poppin watching the angle. An excellent little flick coming in from Malum. But Inspire just on the other side. It's all these weird off angles they might not be aware of. Slide across there. Knight's able to find one. But now the position is given away. Inspire just running for the hills. Time running out. Kess now has to make the advancement from this back line. Makes it a little bit more difficult with the relay bolt. Paint Shell slows down just for a second as well. The stun does happen. Kess not able to secure the kill. Kess has to make it happen, but not going to be the case. The Rankers, they stay alive. They force OT2.
This is really going to become a battle of who can win a defense round.
Overtime.
Nightblood, they had the right idea, but dedicating 2 players to A site and them being eliminated almost immediately meant that Nightblood Gaming were going to this post plant already with a distinct body disadvantage. The fact that we had seen Fireball bring out that wall right away at the start of the round, Rankers willing to wait out that utility and take that shower space for free, meant that this was a split push that just could not be stopped.
A little bit slower this time around. This has the sniper rifle in hand. 1 shot, 1 kill from that operator. Good little grab net, but yeah, Exter will be able to escape. Has the portal ready to go as Hyun is able to find Cainzera. Shutting down someone who started to heat up. As the Viper wall goes down, still just a little bit of a skirmish for map control at this point.
Yeah, timer's not on Nightblood's side. Left on the clock, the push up from Knights. That's 2 bodies gone. And immediately Inspire tries to reclaim that space back in showers. But again, what are you doing, Rankers? Pushing up blindly into everything. There's only 2 left alive now. And neither one are in a position to trade each other out. Maybe a long-term crossfire. But good luck retaking B. Nightblood Gaming are giving Rankers a taste of their own medicine for a 5v2 retake.
And yeah, at this point too, Hyun will be able to get that spike down. Orbital Strike will be available as well. Really just securing this. Extra at least able to find 2. Make things a little bit more evened out, but only 34 HP. Hyun has to stay alive here. That's going to be your keys to success as Extra goes for that reposition just around the side here. And yeah, Hyun's got that person's number. It's Alem just around the corner here. Inspire. 1v3 scenario, Orbital Strike online as well. Oh boy, it's so dicey, but at least able to find that first one. Phantom Gaming reigns supreme. Gonna be tapping Spike. Orbital Strike gonna be online just to make things even more complicated. Inspire, calm, collected. Gets a little bit of spray through as well. Not 100% sure where it is, but look at that. Hyun with a 4K that round. Operator was a worthy purchase.
Switching sides.
What is Nightblood's defense setup going to look like? They don't have to worry about the Yar Walt. They can gamble stack a site. This 2-3 setup has not worked for Nightblood. What keeps happening is that Rankers will take this early round so slowly and then converge on the weaker site.
Right here.
Okay. I'm bracing myself again. Default early on from Rankers. Playing it slow. That early wall again. That is exactly what Rankers took advantage of last time. They went in for that wall to drop and took showers control. Nightblood Gaming marks aren't doing anything different.
This is one of those things where, you know, talking about the structure, talking about the core of Nightblood Gaming, the rehearsal, all of that type of stuff starts to become a little bit predictable if you do that. But actually this time, it could work out well as Kess goes in so deep, has to find that first kill, but Poppin just around the side. It's going to shut Kess down. The defense on B is looking a lot more dicey now.
All right, call's been made to start rotating, win by themselves.
Stim beacon down.
Hyun watching just the side here. Gravnet gets sauced out preemptively. Smoke's going to be dropped as well.
They're rotating back! Oh, wait, that's a good call. Good call because of the wall. And now Hyun is trapped. Inspire's waiting to see that brim cross. They're trapped and they're going back to B. 30 seconds are left on the clock.
Left.
The The spike is a million miles away. They're going to take the teleport. Extra's already re-cleared the area. Seekers instead! It is a battle!
No way! Oh, geez. Goes through the teleporter yet again. And so suddenly Hyun in an excellent position. Could drop the spike. Can't just quite do that. Just enough time to be able to get this spike planted.
10 seconds left.
It's not pretty, but it works out here. 2v4 scenario, 1v4 scenario. The Rankers not quite done yet. Playing with the map, running things around. Just like this, Sogo in an impossible situation, at least able to find one, but we will be going to OT3.
A battle for the defense round.
Overtime.
Nightblood Gaming back to the attack. At this point, it's really, I feel like this is kind of an overused pastor term, a battle of attrition, which for my little tiny peanut brain, I believe means just a battle of who gets tired first. Rankers,
wow,
I think for the first time in their history as a team, take a timeout to figure out what they can do for this defense. And this is a very big question. They have the opportunity to do so many different things, I think, to switch it up against Nightblood. But I honestly don't know what they're going to choose.
I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I would be so curious to see whether or not the Rankers try that Nightblood Gaming strategy of just push out of B. Let's go. Let's run it down. And I'm going to be honest with you. I think that would actually be a pretty good strategy, because when it comes to just the duel for duel, honestly, the Rankers have looked like they usually come out on top. If they force Nightblood Gaming into an uncomfortable position, then it makes that chance even higher, and they can get some easy kills very early on.
Wait, so you're telling me Rankers should W key?
Yeah.
No.
Altogether.
Mark, they've never done that.
In my defense, they've been playing a little bit more slowly, a little bit more methodically, and I think that has been something that Nightblood gamers have been a little bit faster at capitalizing on.
No, I completely agree with you. It's just, you know, them having to switch it up, it will be interesting. Alim, and now you're right. Had they pushed up and taken these fights, Alim and Fireball may not have taken this space.
Oh my goodness, and Nightblood Gaming just on top yet again. The rounds just started. Turns out Nightblood Gaming were the ones who decided to W key it in onto the site. Excellent utility usage, just caused enough discord amongst the Rankers. Make sure that they have no idea what was going on. Knights can't even do a thing. Inspire the last person left standing. 1v5. Making it even more difficult as Nightblood Gaming once again finding themselves on map point as soon as they secure this kill. A lot of gunfire being traded. Inspire just kind of getting spammed down. And Hyun gets that final bullet there. Nightblood Gaming still running on all vibes while the Rankers
match point
back on the attack.
Surely this will be the round that someone wins defense.
Right here.
Going back to ye olden days, right? Where we'd have this happen on Ascent every single map. It would always be teams just dominate the attack. One person wins a defense round, and then you have like 10 extra rounds of OT where nobody can win an attack round after that. Like, what happened? You guys are doing the same thing.
Something definition of insanity, you know what I mean?
Oh, yes. That's me.
All right. Trailblazer gets a lot of information. Sogo in a little bit of an awkward spot, but able to escape all things considered. Alum up top. Decides to drop down. Probably was a smart move. Taking quite a bit of spam, though. In the midst of all of this, the Rankers did get it down. Nightblood Gaming, I was about to say 5v5 retake, but no, 4v5 retake. At this point here, Fireball Ops, he's able to ready to trade things back. As it is now 3v3, Hyun just coming in onto this flank. Timing has to be just a little bit quicker as Kess able to find the wall bang. This could be the round. 2v3, Kess goes down, making a 2v2. The Rankers so ready. Hyun able to find one. Inspire now in this 1v2 scenario, knows what is going on. Spots it out. The molly goes in, forcing the positioning. Sogo goes to the defuse, but Hyun able to find the kill. Nightblood Gaming show that the Rankers are mortal indeed and take their first map.
It was a battle, especially for OT, but you're completely right, Mark. This has been the first map we have seen rankers drop in the entirety of their run through Challengers from the start of Open Qualifiers to now. I don't know what to expect with this team from here on out, but to be fair, this was Nightblood Gaming's map pick. They chose the least rankery type beat map to have against them, and it did work in their favor, albeit by a very slim margin. So I don't think Nightblood Gaming's out of the woods just yet. I do think this goes to map 3.
Well, Nightblood Gaming have the chance to secure their spot in Challengers Stage 3 playoffs. We're going to have to find out as we go to Sunset next, just after this break.